Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Vimi. I'm currently teaching English for kids in Vietnam. But did you know that I used to be very afraid of children? Back then, I never thought that I could teach them. When I stood in front of a kid, I was so embarrassed just with the thought of making them smile like me or making them happy. So right now, I'm doing such a job and I'm really enjoying it. These kids brought me more experience than I ever expected. So, in this first vlog, I will tell you stories in my class, okay? Let's start! Vimi. Once upon a time, there was a teacher named Vimi. She was assigned to teach English pronunciation to elementary students. Her classroom was always full of laughter, and the students really loved her, and so did she. Finally, Vimi and the class lived happily ever after. Just kidding! The stories in my class are not always about roses. I had a lot of problems while teaching, and most recently, when I was asking the whole class to read the text out loud, there was a student named Brad. When it was Brad's turn to read, he didn't read it correctly, while everyone in this class read it correctly. So I was like, I wanted the class to help us, so I told the class that if anyone here can help us read this correctly, I'll give them a point. So the whole class was very excited to help Red and patiently explained and write the sample to Red. And you know, the first person who entrusted Red was Pink. After a lot of instructions, Red still couldn't read it right, so this Pink guy started to be very annoyed with Red. In turn, the other students enthusiastically helped Red, but also failed. At that time, Pink suddenly stood up and said to me,
Teacher, Brad's not thinking his brain. The whole class has given up. There is something wrong with his brain. Let me show you a picture of Brad's brain.
And it was like ran up to the board quite boldly and borrowed my pen, and he started drawing overlapping circles that looked like this. Then he pointed to it and said to me,
Teacher, read this Brad's brain.
The kids down below started to laugh, and of course Red didn't like it. I went down to Red and heard him saying,
I don't like to read.
And you can tell from Pink's face that he was excited attacking Red. So, think about it. If you guys were Red, would you be angry? Actually, I used to be just like Red. When I was in school, I was often isolated and teased, so I understood that feeling very well. I don't know about you guys, but that feeling was very uncomfortable. When I went to school, no one played with me. Maybe because you can say that I was quite eccentric. In general, it was quite sad back then. Look, the point is, I wanted to defend Red because if I leave it alone, this will continue to happen, and the whole class will look down on Red. So I told him, son, everyone has their own ability. They're not good at this, they're good at something else, right? So I should not force them to look like me, right? Because 5 fingers have long fingers and short fingers. What if the world had only one screen, one food, one movie, and one game the same? That would be boring, right? So I should not impose others to my will, right? But Pink's attitude towards Red still didn't change. At that time, I suddenly recalled a story, so I told them, let me tell guys a story. Long ago in China, there were 2 great people. a great poet named Sudongpo, and the other one was a Zen master named Foyin. They were very close. One day, when they were sitting for meditation, Sudongpo asked,
Hey, what do you see me like?
You look like a Buddha.
Ha 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 ha! Do you know what I see you like? You look like a pile of cow dung! Ha ha ha!
The whole class cracked up, but I immediately asked, why do you laugh? Does making fun of others make you happy? You are glad to criticize others, right? So, if you guys was their master for you, how would you feel?
I would be angry.
Why would you be angry?
Because he criticized others even though they praised him.
So, what would you do if you were angry?
I would hit him. I would talk back to him.
Do you think that Master Foyin would react to that?
Yes.
No, the Zen master just smiled. At the time, Sudongpo was very happy and triumphant because he thought he made Foyin speechless. That's how it looked pink. When you talk bad about Red. About the story, after that, Sudongpo recounted the story of winning against Foyin with his sister. His sister just smiled and said, No, brother, you lost. Because in the mind of Master Foyin, there is only a Buddha, so he saw you as a Buddha. And in your mind, there is only a cow manure to look at him. That was why he didn't blame you, even if you look at him like a pile of cow dung. So guys, please clap for the Master Foyin. So guys, let me ask you, if I want other people to get better, I use Buddha or cow dung?
Buddha.
So now, if I look at Red and say, Hey Red, why are you so stupid? Why can't you do as you're told? While everyone got it, everyone but you. So, what do I have in my mind?
Cow dung.
So, if I told Red this, Red, just try to practice as many times as you can. In the past, I also had to read 10 times and then to more than 100 times. So, finally, I read well. So, I believe in you, Red. You can do it. Be strong. So, what do I have in my mind now?
Buddha.
So, just now, Pink said that Red had nothing in his brain, and he came up to the board and drew this. What does that look like to you?
Cow dung.
But the Pink encouraged Red and cheered Red. So, what is in Pink's mind?
Buddha.
So, if I keep using cow dung with other people, will they get better?
No.
So, what should I use if I want other people to do well?
Buddha.
Well done. We all have Buddha and cow dung in our minds. But if we know how to eliminate cow dung and use Buddha to treat others, then everyone will get better, right? After that, I showed them a video of a special boy. The boy couldn't read the letters, so his parents laughed him and cursed him as a fool, and it was shunned a lot. Teachers and parents also scolded the boy. When he was alone, he turned his face to the wall when he thought back on the criticisms of the people around him and cried a lot. I stopped the video and asked the kids, what do you see on his face when being criticized?
He is sad.
So does everyone's treatment make him happy or better?
No!
I continued the video, and when it came to the point where the boy's teacher came to the house and explained to his father not to criticize him anymore, then his father was dumbfounded. I stopped the video and asked, do you know why his father was dumbfounded? Who knows? Raise your hand. Okay, Red, please.
Because his father understands how his son feels when he is treated like that.
Very good.
Miss, since the time you talked about that, he seemed to be smarter.
It's not that he's smarter. He's already smart. You said so because we haven't seen that aspect of this yet. The video ended when the teacher successfully changed the thoughts of those who were around the boy and helped him to read more and more confidently and fluently, as well as promoted his innate ability to draw. You see, when he received countdown from everyone, did it get better?
No!
You see, the boy is only good when the teacher uses the mind of Buddha to treat him, right? So, if I want other people to be good, I decry them or give them encouragement.
Praise them!
But I also need to compliment at the right time, right? And after that story, I found that both Pink and the Red ones no longer looked down on and criticized Red. Since that day, Red also treated me differently. Normally, he wouldn't greet me. He said that I'm not his family's member, so he didn't have to say hello to me. Even though I wasn't happy about it, I still didn't want to talk back to the child, so instead, I just reminded him gently. But you know, since that day, Red came back to say goodbye to me, and that really surprised me. Since then, I thought that all the kids are inherently understanding and smart. The reason they show negative behaviors was because they were imposed that way of thinking. So, if I want to change something, I have to be patient. Of course, not all things can be solved easily. There are children who are so stubborn that I wouldn't be able to approach them by normal means. In this case, there might be better ways or getting advice from those who are more experienced and knowledgeable. This is my little story. If you find it interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. As you can see, even though my English isn't perfect, my entire video is entirely in English, so there could be many expressional and grammatical errors. But I still want to share my stories with you and improve my English speaking. So I hope you will share more with me about your stories in the comment section. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.